Super exciting day. I've got a bunch of new ultralight backpacking gear and we're going to talk all about it. And we're going to start with probably the most ridiculous one and just get that out of the way right at the start. I've gone and upgraded from the orange stuff sack that comes with the Tokes pots, and I've got myself a Dyneema stuff sack from Pond's Edge for my Tokes titanium 500ml cook pot. I've kind of decided that I am gonna make that hard push into going ultralight with my gear, and in the interest of saving a little bit of weight out of my kit and you know, just whatever, to have something cool, a little bit different, I went with a Dyneema stuff sack for my cook pot. Now the weight savings may not be huge. The original comes in at just over 13 grams and the new one comes in at 4.5 grams. And like I said, this is probably the most ridiculous one on the list, but yeah, I've gone that route and I've upgraded to the Dyneema stuff sack for my cook pot. I have been ripped on a lot in the past for all of these Ziploc freezer bags I use in my backpacking gear loadout. People seem to absolutely hate that because they're single-use plastics. So I have gone and upgraded almost all of my Ziploc freezer bags that were within my backpack. And I've swapped those out for a bunch of printed EcoPack stuff sacks from Hilltop Packs. Now I've picked these up in the interest of organizing my backpack as well as kind of color coding it. These are all ridiculously lightweight. The blue one with the zipper here for my toiletry kit comes in at 7 grams. And each of these printed Rolltop ones comes in at 20 grams. The Rolltop ones are also seam taped as well, which is really, really nice. But I didn't stop there, and I had to take advantage of one of the coolest things that Hilltop Packs does, which is the custom printing on their EcoPack stuff sacks. And I picked up one of the dual pocket Gadget bags, and I got a picture of my boy Remy on here. I recently lost my boy, and he was the first dog that I took on backpacking trips with me. And this stuff sack here is gonna be kind of part of my way of taking him with me on every backpacking trip now. I like that it's got the 2 different pockets on there, so I'm going to use this for my electronics. So one side is going to have my battery banks, the other side is probably going to have my headlamp and all my cords. And yeah, just one of the cool things that Hilltop Pack is doing with the custom printing on their EcoPack stuff. This guy comes in at 19 grams. Going from 52 grams to 44 grams, going with the new NU25 headlamp from Nitecore. Now upgrading to the new NU25 headlamp was not just a weight savings thing. It recharges with USB-C, which was a big deal to me. Almost all my electronics now are USB-C rechargeable. 2 buttons on the top, one turns it on, one changes it to red. You've got white and red lights. Most of your standard features you're going to have on a headlamp, like it's got the SOS feature, it's got the flashing beacon, you've got a 400 lumen maximum output. I like that the shock cord they used as the headband has got a little tracer line in there, so it's reflective in the dark. And on top of all that, it's got an IP66 waterproof rating. A great little headlamp. I am just as happy with the newer version of the NU25 as I was with the older one. I can't say I've ever been terrified of backpacking gear before, but the 10-gram knife from Renegade Outdoors, probably as close as it's gonna come to absolutely terrifying me when it comes to a piece of backpacking gear. What you got here is literally a scalpel blade on a little lightweight nylon handle. They advertise it as the 10-gram knife. It comes in at 10 grams. It's pretty sweet when you consider you've got a 2.3-inch blade on this little razor sharp hellion here. Obviously with a knife like this, you're not going to be out playing Bobby Bushcraft. If you're looking at an ultralight backpacking gear video, chances are you're into ultralight backpacking gear and you know that we're out there backpacking. We're not out there to build forts and shelters. And a knife like this is going to be more than enough for cutting some cordage, cutting open some plastic bags, anything you're legitimately going to use a knife for out on a backpacking trip. Coming in at 15 grams or half an ounce is the NanoDry Trek towel. A little bit of a tongue twister, took me a couple times to get through that one. But this guy here is just a really, really ultralight nanofiber towel. The primary use I'm gonna get out of this is wiping condensation off of the inside of my tent or the inside of my tarp at night. But in a pinch, I'm sure I could use this to dry my body off if I was getting rained on and, you know, went to bed a little bit damp at the end of the day. Super lightweight and super compact. This nanofiber material dries out extremely quickly as well. So when I use this to wipe down the inside of my shelter, I'm just gonna strap this on the outside of my bag, and this is gonna be dry really, really quickly. This is actually just a straight gear addition for me. I only carry a pack towel when I'm backpacking with my dog. So adding a towel at only 15 grams was a huge bonus for me. Really, really looking forward to using. Why do I save the towel for last, honestly? Like, how do you get hyped up and amped up for a towel? Not the greatest foresight on my part, But we're done talking about the towel, and if you guys are looking for any more ultralight backpacking gear, I've got a couple different videos that I've previously shot on ultralight gear I've transitioned to. You guys can find those here and here. I'm sure you guys will enjoy either of those videos, so check either of those out. And as always, I'm Matty. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one.